All right, hello. We are back to do another Pokemon ranking video. This time we're gonna do the starters from all the gens. And this one's gonna be kind of like a two-parter in one video. I'm gonna rank them by generation each, going down, starting with 1 and going over to Gen 8. And then from there, I'm gonna rank them in order of my favorite to least favorite out of all of them. And they'll just run across the screen. Taking up firsts and then second and then third, etc. And you'll see, we'll get there. So it's gonna be kind of two pieces in one because I didn't want to have to stretch this into 2 videos. I figured it's just easier to do in one. But it was kind of hard to, find a background. So I actually took this background from a PokeTuber named Hoodlum Callum, who kind of started the trend of doing a lot of these videos. So I will leave a link to the original video of his in the description. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the Gen 1 starters were all fantastic, So you had probably 3 of the most iconic Pokemon in the entire series, the entire franchise. Now, growing up, initially I had blue, and then I got yellow before getting red. And I really had wanted to go with, I'll pick Squirtle in blue, and I'll pick Charmander in red, and I'll pick Bulbasaur in green, and there was no green in America. So I kind of felt bad initially for Bulbasaur when I was young because he didn't get his own game. So naturally I picked him first to start, actually, and kind of fell in love. And now I will preface this with all 3 of these Pokemon are fantastic. They are obviously some of the most nostalgic Pokemon in the series, and they're just really simple but fantastic designs. And so I do really love all of them. So the ranking isn't as it doesn't make as much sense, because I would put all of them at number 1 if I could, because I really do love all 3 of them. But that being said, I moved the incorrect character because they're not locked. I am gonna put Bulbasaur up at number 1. I don't know. I felt bad that he didn't get his own game, and over time, especially, Bulbasaur has really grown on me. I don't know what it is. I love the bulb on his back. I really love the shape of his body. He's kind of a chunky boy, and I love the fact that he walks on all 4s and he's not bipedal. Like, there's a lot of Pokemon moving from all 4s to bipedal, and the Bulbasaur line stays true to staying on all 4s. So I think that's kind of cool. After that, probably going to be Squirtle. Squirtle's great both in the anime and in the games. Pretty easy to get through the first gym with him. Obviously, it's really easy to get through the first couple of gyms with Bulbasaur as well, and so it made it kind of easier to play as Squirtle for a novice who didn't really know what they were doing. I love Wartortle. I love Blastoise. And then this might come as a shock, but I'm gonna put Charmander at the bottom, who often is kind of, from what I've seen, kind of the favorite of the 3. I guess him and Squirtle, both of them are kind of towards the top. With Bulbasaur sometimes being at the bottom, even though I know that there's a lot of love for all 3. But I'm just not a huge fan of the Charmander line. Charmeleon's kind of boring. I even think Charizard's kind of boring outside of the anime. So, anyways, that's how I would rank those. Now I kind of feel like the music in the background is a little too loud. After everyone in the last video saying they could barely hear it, but... Oh, that was a little too loud. Yeah, we'll just leave it there and hope it sounds good. And if it sounds terrible, I'll redo the video. Now for Gen 2, it's pretty easy for me. Again, I like the Gen 2 mon, but there's more of a distinction. So you got Totodile, Cyndaquil, and Chikorita. And I think the kind of odds-on bottom pick here is definitely Chikorita. There's nothing inherently wrong with her. I think Bayleaf is a fantastic looking Pokemon. I really like Meganium, but Chikorita itself is kind of awkward. It's shaped weird. Again, it does stay true to the 4 legs, which I think is kind of cool. But I don't know. It's just, she's a little weird looking. The leaf is cool, but everything else is just kind of misshapen and kind of, blobular. So I'm not a huge fan of Chikorita. It just does get better. After that, I'm going to put Totodile. I really like Totodile. I love Croconaw. I know a lot of people think Croconaw is creepy and weird. I think Croconaw is one of the best middle stage starter Pokemon that exists. And I'll get to that video down the line at some point, I'm sure. Probably in the same format, but I think Totodile is he's a little too hyper, especially from the anime. You see it a lot, and I don't really like the Pokemon with like hyper or kind of snide personalities. I like more of just like the cute, fun, happy ones, maybe Shy. Speaking of Shy, my number one for this gen is Cyndaquil. I absolutely love Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil is one of my favorite Pokemon in total. I absolutely love this Pokemon. He's just so cute. And like, he's got the Shy personality. He looks really good. Quilava is also one of my favorite Pokemon. I love Quilava. And Typhlosion's really cool as well. I don't know, it just works out really well. So moving on to Gen 3, this is where I really got into Pokemon, because obviously these games came out. I mean, I'm 23, so these games came out, you know, right around the time when I was getting a DS, because, you know, I wasn't playing Pokemon when I was 4. You know, when Gens 1 and 2 came out, I was playing it closer to 3. So you got Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip. 3 very iconic Pokemon. Again, I feel like this is a generation where, you know, it's split pretty evenly between the 3 on who's liked and who's not liked. You know, Mudkip became a meme for a while, but people really like Trico, and people really like, you know, Torchic and Blaziken. For me, I think Torchic's probably at the bottom. Okay, I can't find it on this. There we go. Torchic's probably at the bottom. I think Torchic looks really weird. I was always convinced when I was a kid that he had 1 leg, just because a lot of the fan art that was out there and stuff. I don't know. He's just kind of boring. I think Combustion is very ugly. I'm not a huge Blaziken fan, so, you know, I'm not a big fan of the way that Torchic looks, honestly. Getting the middle slot's going to be Trico. Trico looks cool, you know, at least for the most part. I think Grovyle and Sceptile are fantastic. Trico's also kind of in that line of, he looks really good. His hands kind of creep me out a little bit. I really like his tail. His head's a little weird shaped, but, you know, that's kind of how geckos look, so I don't know. And then obviously the top pick is going to be Mudkip. Everyone loves a good Kip. You know, it's just a great Pokemon. It's a great looking Pokemon. I originally picked Mudkip on my first playthrough of Ruby and Sapphire. Swampert carried me through for most of it with Muddy Water. And I named the Pokemon Muddy, and to this day, like, Swampert is one of my favorite Pokemon for that reason. So, now Gen 4, I have clicked the wrong button. Gen 4 had 3 good Pokemon. I think 1 definitely worse than the others, but at the bottom, it's a clear, obvious pick for me. I'm going to put Chimchar. I'm not a fan of Chimchar. As you can see, I don't like fire types. I don't really like Chimchar. I don't like the Infernape line in general. Monferno is probably my favorite, and Monferno looks kind of weird. I don't know. He's got this weird swirly thing on his head that's probably supposed to look like fire, but it just doesn't. His body shape's kind of weird. He's always kind of hunched over and like this weird thing, despite supposed to being a chimpanzee, who are usually a lot, you know, not that they don't use their hands, but they're upright. He looks like he's got back problems. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird Pokemon to me. After that is definitely going to be Turtwig. Now I actually really do like Turtwig quite a bit. I like his design a lot. I like his weird jaw. How he's got kind of like that weird bottom mandible. The nice little tree on his head looks really good. The shell looks really good. He's got cool feet, you know. Another Pokemon that stays true to being on all 4s, so sounds good to me. And then at the top, we're gonna have my boy Piplup. On the first playthrough through the Diamond and Pearl games, you know, I used a Piplup. I really like penguins. I think the Empoleon line is fantastic. Not that the Torterra line isn't either, but, you know, those 2 are really close to me and in my heart. I don't know. I just really like Piplup. So, moving on to Gen 5. We got my boy Oshawott. That should have been named Water. Like Otter and Water. But, I digress. And then we got Snivy and Tepig. At the bottom, I know this is going to get a lot of hate. At the bottom, I'm going to put Snivy. I think Snivy's design is pretty good. It's all right. Again, it's just kind of snide. It's always got its nose in the air. You know, that's kind of how it's made. It's got the weird shoulder pauldron things. It's always got kind of like the lazy, too cool for you eyes. I don't know. I'm not really into Snivy. You know, as it gets, like, as it evolves, it gets better and better. but I don't know. Superior is superior, I think, to Snivy. I'm just not a Snivy fan. After that, we got Tepig. Tepig is probably my favorite Pokemon from its line. I mean, Emboar's okay as well. But I don't know. I like Tepig a lot. You know, he's just a hot pork. He's cool. I don't know. I like his tail. I like his nose. I think it's cool. It's a cool Pokemon. And then at the top, we got Oshawott. I love Samurott. I think Samurott is a very cool final evolution for a starter line. As you can see, I started to like water Pokemon in here. And I mean, even in first gen, I mean, these two, Bulbasaur and Squirtle, were really, really, really close for me. Not so much with Cyndaquil and Totodile, but I mean, and upon starting the ideas for this list, I kind of thought that Squirtle was gonna be number one, Bulbasaur would be number two, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, Bulbasaur is probably my favorite. But I'm really into water Pokemon, not so into fire Pokemon. I think that shows. So now if we move on to Gen 6, I think I'm probably pretty close to the majority for this generation. I think, at least, you know, you got Chespin, you got Froakie, and you got Fennekin. I don't know what the shakedown for this is, but for me, it's probably going to go in this order. I would put Fennekin at the bottom. Fennekin is one of my least favorite starters. I don't know what it is. I really don't like Delphox or Bracky, and they just look weird to me. They're that weird witch thing. It's one of those Pokemon that goes from all four to bipedal. I don't know. It's just strange. After that, we're gonna have Brokey. What the fuck? We're gonna have Froakie. I think Froakie's really cool. His design is pretty simple. It does just enough. I like the, you know, the change in color in the hands and the scarf. Obviously, it's kind of part of the whole theme of the Pokemon. I don't know. I think Froakie looks really cool, but man, look, like Chespin is an insanely cool Pokemon. He wears a beanie. He's like this really cool, what is the word I'm looking for? Like porcupine. I kept wanting to say like anything that wasn't porcupine, basically. He's just kind of this cool hedgehog porcupine Pokemon. He's got the quills. I don't know. He evolves into like a big balloon boy, which I think is really cool. Then Chestnut is insanely cool. So I don't know. I really like how Gen 6 had their three Pokemon kind of based off RPG characters. You know, you had like the witch, the mage. In the Fennekin line, you had the ninja, assassin, rogue kind of character. In the Froakie line. And then you had kind of like the paladin knight in Chestnut. Oh, sorry, chat. Moving on to Gen 7. I think this is one of the best generations for starters. So you got Rowlet, Popplio, and Litten. All three starters in this generation are absolutely phenomenal, I think. At least in their base evolutions. I know when they get kind of bigger, they start not to be so great. But I think all three of them are, separated by very slim margins. At the bottom, I am going to put Popplio. Not that I think that there's anything wrong with Popplio. He just, out of the three, I think he's the worst. He's kind of got the most basic design. It's not even like, not that it's simple, but it's just basic. It's basically a seal. That's all it is. It looks like a Pokemonized seal as opposed to anything super distinguishable about it. It doesn't really have a whole lot of like character or personality. It's just kind of a seal, and when you have a Pokemon already that's a seal, name seal. So that's my justification for that. In the middle, we're gonna put Litten. I like Litten. I didn't used to like Litten just because it was kind of that edgy personality, which I'm not a big fan of. But as time went on, I kind of decided, I really like Litten. Its shiny is absolutely amazing. It has one of the best shinies for a starter, if not the best shiny for a starter. And I don't know, it just looks cool. I love the insignia on its forehead. Its evolutions are really great. Torracat is absolutely great, and Incineroar is great. It's a great line. But at the top, we're going to have our round dapper boy. I know that I think the consensus still is kind of that Rowlet is the number one. with Litten kind of right there too. I know that a lot of people really like all three Pokemon from this generation. But man, there's something about Rowlet. He's round, he's cute, he's got just great facial features, he looks happy, he's got the little bow tie of the leaves. It is an absolutely perfect design. And a Rowlet is one of my favorite starters, if not my favorite starter, in all honesty. So now we get to the new boys. Or girls, I suppose. Did those not? Oh, just took them a minute to load in. So we got Scorbunny, we got Sobble, and we got Grookey. Now, initially I had known, okay, this is exactly how it's gonna go. Boom, boom, boom. Because there were two I really didn't like and one I really liked. Looking back now, probably still going to be in that same order, but they are starting to get a little bit closer now that I've had like a week to digest them and see them and stuff like that. So on bottom, I am going to go ahead and put Scorbunny. Scorbunny is easily my least favorite from this generation. I really am not a fan of Scorbunny. It looks kind of weird. I don't like the bandage on the nose, even though I know that's kind of the look of like an athlete kind of thing. You know, they have the flex tape on the nose and all that kind of stuff. I'm just not a huge fan of it. It seems like a simple, kind of boring design again. It's just kind of a bunny. Things might change as I see the future evolutions and what it's supposed to look like and become. Yeah, for now, that's kind of the design that I like the least. Below that, I'm gonna have Sobble. I'm starting to like Sobble more and more. Originally, I mean, obviously it just kind of looks like the just do it Shia LaBeouf meme, a little bit. It also kind of looks like the gaping face Pikachu, the Pikachu. So I don't know, I like Sobble. I'm interested to see what it's going to become. And then at number 1, I'm gonna have Gun Monkey. Grookey's fantastic. I love the meme of him holding a gun because he's mad that no one likes him. I think the design is fantastic. Aside from the weird like triple face colors where you've got the orange, the yellow, and the green, it's a little too much going on maybe, but the design is super cute. I love the idea of it using the stick to beat stuff with, and it's a monkey, and I love monkey Pokemon. So I would have to say that this is how it shakes out. You could see that it kind of started off, I didn't really care about a type, and then I found a water love in the middle, and now I'm kind of in a grass love towards the end. Now, if you look at the bottom tier Pokemon, it's definitely, we've got 5 out of 8 fires down there, so maybe I'm not super into fire, which is valid. But I don't know. I mean, if you look at it, I suppose that is kind of true, because in Gens 5 and 7, like the second and third ranked Pokemon are both really close to each other, so they could kind of swap on any given day. So I don't know, you could potentially have almost all fire Pokemon at the bottom. I just tend to not like fire Pokemon as much. I don't really know why, but so anyways, now I'm gonna go ahead and flip it and go ahead and rank them in terms of how I like them overall in general. So let me go ahead and hide them all, that they're not cluttering the screen. Now I just gotta unlock them all so that they can be moved. Now I'm trying to real quick think about who's gonna be at the top and who's gonna be at the bottom. I can think of a couple that are gonna be at the bottom, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the screen. And this is subject to change, so I have to be real careful when I open them, or unlock them, I should say. Yeah, these two are probably going to be at the bottom for me. And actually what I think I should do is just kind of move some of the other ones out of the way. Like this. More than just hiding them and trying to guess what's going to be where. Just kind of move them, I think, is easier. And I guess I'll take this time. If anyone is interested in getting the... oh, there we go. Getting the Photoshop files for these, I do have them saved, so go ahead and just join my team's Discord, which will be down in the description, and I just go ahead and message me or post something on my updates channel, and I'll go ahead and send this file over to you. I suppose I could upload the Mon as well. So if you wanted to have those as well, you could. All right. So that's fine. So these are going to be my bottom two, I think, Scorbunny and Fennekin. I'm probably going to put Fennekin at the bottom. I think Fennekin is probably easily my least favorite starter. I don't like its design. I don't like its evolutions. I don't know. There's something about it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put Scorbunny. I really am not yet a fan of Scorbunny's design, or I don't know. There's just a lot about it I don't like. I'm not a fan. I know that, you know, a lot of people like Scorbunny. Even though Sobble so far is kind of seeming to be the consensus pick out of Gen 8. I'm not a fan of Scorbunny. I don't like the way it looks. It's so simple. It's too hyper for me. I don't know. After that, probably gonna be Chikorita. For kind of the same reasons I put her at the bottom in Gen 2. She's weird looking, kinda, and she's very blobular, I guess is the best way to put it. Right above her, I'm gonna have Snivy. I'm not a big fan of Snivy. She's weird looking. I don't know. He's just kind of he looks like a dick, and I don't like that. Like, not like an actual dick, but like, he's just kind of a dick that like flips your books over in school and kind of snickers, and I don't like that. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna move Snivy up 1 and Chikorita up 1, and in between that I'm gonna slot Chimchar, because I'm not a big fan of Chimchar, and I definitely would rather have a Chikorita and a Snivy over a Chimchar. See, these 5 were relatively easy for me to know we're gonna be at the bottom. After that, like, you might see some second places get kind of put in there. I mean, next will probably be Torchic. No, that's probably not true. Next will probably be Tepig. Again, Tepig, I like Tepig, but not as much as anything else left, I guess, to place. And then will come Torchic. I think Torchic's just a little cuter than Tepig, I guess, would be kind of my reasoning for that. I don't know. It's hard to say. I like Torchic. I just don't love Torchic. It's kind of how I feel about the previous, like, these, like, Chikorita through Torchic. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of love to go around for them in general, it feels like. Personally, for me, at least. And then I'm gonna put Poplio. Yeah. Gonna put Poplio. And the reason I'm gonna put Poplio is I like Poplio. I just think I like everything else a little better. But now it is getting a lot more difficult to place down Pokemon and who I like. Because I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, oh, I really like him. Oh, I also really like him though. And I like him. Oh. So it's getting a little more difficult. Above Poplio and the top 2/3, I think I'm gonna put Trico. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with Trico. Again, it's just everything above is a little bit better. Then I'm gonna go. It's so hard. I'm gonna go Froakie. Yeah, I'm gonna go Froakie. Just kind of looking at everything else, Froakie just kind of doesn't stand out among them, I think. And then we have Sobble. Yep. Then we have Sobble. New Pokemon hasn't quite grown on me yet, so I really like Grookey, especially. So Grookey might make it up there, but the new ones, I think they need some time to sit and become familiar. Then we're gonna have Totodile. Nothing wrong with Totodile. Totodile just barely makes that top half. But like legitimately, I really do like Totodile. I love its evolutions. Crocodile is amazing. For alligators, pretty cool. So, you know, it's hard to say. Oh goodness. And now we're really getting to like the tough pickings. Oh goodness, chat. It's hard. I'm also having a hard time not saying chat. Because I'm just so used to streaming. I'm gonna go ahead and put I don't know. It's so bad. Yeah, I am gonna go ahead and put, dude, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Wow, I've never actually like thought about having to do this for quite a while. Oh my. I think I'm gonna put Charmander. Dude, wow, that feels so weird to say. I am gonna put Charmander, I think, mainly because I need to like pick and stop just staring at the screen for this long. I don't even know. I'm running out of things to say other than like I just like everything else a little bit better. Above Charmander, I'm gonna put Oshawott. Yeah, I'm gonna put Oshawott. And then I mean, do I put, it's gonna be, there's only like 3 right now that I can think I'd put down there. I'm gonna put Litten. I like Litten a lot. Man, it feels bad putting Litten like down as far as it is, even though we're getting kind of close to the end. And then I'm gonna put Turtwig. And then Grookey. Well, see, and it's actually, this is all gonna back up a little bit. I'm gonna move Turtwig up and Grookey up, and I'm gonna put Mudkip down here. In fact, I think I'm gonna put Mudkip here. I think I like Litten a little bit more. Do I know? Wow, I'm really dragging this video. I'm gonna put Mudkip. Yeah, I'm gonna put Mudkip there. This looks good. And then Turtwig. Yeah. And then Grookey. And then Squirtle. Yes. And then and then Piplup and then Squirtle. Yes. No, you know what? And then Squirtle. I can't just give him Gen 1 love because I'm slightly a Gen 1er. Then Squirtle, then Piplup. And then Bulbasaur. All right. We've made it to our top 3, I think. Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and Chespin. Now, ooh. Coming to which one of these is my favorite is going to be difficult because there's, I know third place is Chespin. I think I know that. But deciding between Rowlet and Cyndaquil. Oh man. I can hear, see, here's the thing. I can hear the Cyndaquil voice in my head. Like just doing that little shy bree sound. Bree, you know, and I can feel it. Saying it's pick Cyndaquil, but man, Rowlet, he's just. This is really difficult. I think I am gonna put Rowlet at number 2 and Cyndaquil at number 1. I think that's how it's gonna go because I think Cyndaquil has had a lot more time to kind of be in my face and like have used and have seen. Where Rowlet's a relatively newer Pokemon. So I think for that reason, almost that reason alone, And don't get me wrong, like these top two are so invariably close. It's such a minute difference. I really appreciate both of them and love both of them and wish I could have both of them in the same game. I don't know. I mean, these top 8 are all really close. Like I really like this whole top 8. I mean, if you go down to the point where I kind of get to like, I don't really know how much I like that one. It's probably between Popplio and Torchic down here. I mean, I like Popplio and up, and the rest are kind of just meh to me. Notice 5 of the bottom 7 are fire. But I don't know. I think this looks good. I think that's how I want it. So anyways, we have ourselves a video. I'm sorry that took a half hour. I didn't anticipate it taking that long. Yeah, there you have it. There is how I would rank the starters. And if you didn't, jump back a couple, maybe 10 minutes in the video and see how I ranked them within each generation. So thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and check out the Twitch and the Twitter and the Discord and all of that good stuff down in the comments. I'm not going to run through it here. You know where to find me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this. Let me know what kind of rankings video you want to see next. And I will try and get that out for you. Thanks, guys, and goodbye.